get us started.
Ray,
Roll call,
that'll be Robert Jones.
Jenny Sisson,
Probably.
and on mine.
James King's here.
So we have a quorum today, so we will start. We will ask for the board to look at the June meeting minutes. And when you're done, I'll ask for approval for it. We have a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second that.
We have a second, so moved. So we will go on to our old business, which. Oh, do we a vote on the meeting minutes? I'll say aye. Aye. So, the motion is approved.
James votes aye.
Thanks, James. Old business, we have no old business to discuss. We will move on to our new business. V 0818-2026-1. So that's the variance from the development standards and the general business zoning district. And I'll turn it to Denise.
Well, good evening, everyone. Good to see you all and thank you for coming out. I know we've had a lot of things going on in our community the past 4 or 5 days here. So thank you for coming out and being here for our petitioners. As Susan did state, we are going to have our findings of facts from our June meetings finalized by our September. I was hoping to have those done for you all tonight. But I will get those done and we will present those at September meeting. That being said, we do have 2 new business petitions here for you tonight for consideration. The first one was filed by Wawa. It's a gas station that is currently starting, getting underway there at the site here east of town. That property is their general business and it's a little bit under 4 acres at 3.75 acres. And it sits here east of town and it's kind of nestled in between CDF, State Street there. And then also wraps around here to State Road 67 across the street from the local high school. This property is located within our Gateway Corridor Overlay District, and it is serviced by utilities of water, electric, gas, and sanitary sewer. They are currently under kind of earth movement. They've got some dewatering plans that just got approved here recently, so you're going to see a lot of movement and development there. Back in December of 2024, there were a couple of petitions. There was a conditional use and a variance of developmental standards that was put forth in front of this body. Those were both approved, but at that time they hadn't gotten far enough into their sign standards and development and packet there. So they are ready to get that presented, and there's a couple of variances that will be discussed tonight. Also, to point out here, just south of State Street here, the most northern piece, northwest corner of their property, that will be eventually then developed with a future tenant there. Okay, Stephanie, we'll go ahead and turn to the next page. So what the variance that was filed here for the sign variances, there is 2 parts to this. The first one is they're asking to be able to install a primary facade wall sign that exceeds the 50 square foot total maximum message area. So the message area is limited to just where the verbiage is. It does not include any type of framing or say if there's a monument sign, it does not include the base and so forth from the message area. So our general business zoning district standards there does limit it to the 50 square feet. They are asking for a variance of 91.6 square feet, but we do want to give a little bit of clarification on that. The actual variance and difference as far as actual material, because these are channelized single letters, and there's also, as you'll see in the following pages there, there is an emblem, their logo, the bird there. but the actual base area is 59 square feet. So they are just technically over 9 square feet then for the actual signage. And the second piece that they're asking for consideration tonight is to be able to exceed the 200 square foot signage maximum, what we call as cumulative square area. So for all of the signage for a property within general business is limited to a total of 200 square feet. That is for more of the primary and non-operational signage. So menu boards, directional boards, wayfinding signage are not included in the calculation. So if you take a look at all of their signage, that would be their wall signs, their monument signs, those then equal about 300 square feet approximately. But again, if you take in just where those channeled letters are and actual signage and product, if you do a calculation on that, it equals about 235 square feet. So for the cumulative, then they're asking for technically then 35 square feet over that maximum. So as you see here on the screen here below, it shows the outline as far as, the development. And I know you're very familiar with that, and the layout of the site that has not changed since the first time that this petition was presented. And if you want to go ahead and go to the next slide here, this is kind of identifying here. And I know that we've got the full signage packet that is in your team's folders that has all the signage in detail, square footage and measurements, as well as illumination and anchoring and all the details for those signs. But you can see kind of a breakdown, and those kind of give you those net square footages as well. There on that top right table. And then the layout here, it shows then where they are located on the building. So basically, as far as what is included in the cumulative area, that includes a signage, a front signage would be off of the east elevation along State Road 67. Then they have signage then on the north, kind of the south side of the building. And then we have two monument signs. So the one monument sign would be their primary monument sign on State Road 67. They also in that cumulative area want to point out is that they have a second monument sign that is a shared monument sign. This would be secondary to their site. They're just, the future tenant will be primary on that sign, but then they will also have their logo and identification and on that sign off of State Street there to the north. And if you want to go ahead and go on to the next page, this kind of shows what their branding is. This is the particular sign that would be here in the center here. That is the front wall, front of the building signage that is over the total square foot. So that shows that 91 square feet. That would be as if it was a box panel sign if you counted all those areas there. The sign to the right, we just went ahead and added that in just so you can see here on the screen and for the public, that is their proposed primary monument sign there to the right. And they would then also be required to meet the landscaping requirements and so forth. So in taking a look at all of their sign packets, it's pretty extensive. They've done a great job in laying out everything in detail. All of their standards and their signs are compliant with our Unified Development Ordinance, starting with our page 96 and our UDO with our sign standards, as well as our Gateway Corridor Overlay District. So every sign standard, Connor has done a really deep dive into this. Thank you. He's done a great job putting a lot of the presentation together for us tonight and has been able to confirm that all of our standards are met except for the square footage and our cumulative square footage. That being said, I've got our staff analysis here. If you have any questions, I can pause. And also too, we have before us tonight, we do have the petitioners here. They come in from town. We've got Patrick and Patrick here representing Wawa. They can answer any questions. And also we wanted to note that we have not received any opposition, objection, or remonstrance for this petition as well. Absolutely.
I do want to say too, this is the signage packet in there. This is their third revisions, this third version that they've submitted. So they have gone back to the drawing board and changed things from initial review, secondary review. So these were kind of just the last two items. that we were looking at.
Good evening, Patrick Moon of Wawa, obviously.
Mhm.
One thing, as I was looking at the sign package, talked to our design team earlier today. In regards to the square footage, the overage, I think it's on the original sign package. I'm not sure if you had in there, page 25. We have what we call spanners, which are actually signs on the canopy. I talked to them, we actually take those off, those are about 31 square feet, should get us under the 200, I believe, if it's gonna be really close. Trying to, accommodate all the requirements that we can to the best of our ability. That's one thing that, I talked to them about. They were okay with us taking off this, what we call the banner signage.
What page did you say?
25.
25.
25.
Thank you.
So. As you can see, it's got a reduced version here, but it's the signage right here on the canopy columns. We can take those off, to help reduce it and, be closer to getting compliant, which, we think is important. So trying to get close to the 200 square feet. I don't know if I can get all the way under. I think it puts this, which calculation we use, it's 195 and 204. Depending on how you want to calculate. I did it a couple times. I came with different numbers every time. So, but trying to be compliant as much as possible. The sign that's on the front of the store, I've talked about that, with store design. Reason it is 59 inches tall. And just the way our site is put together, I mean, it's gotta be that tall. Our, front of our store is approximately 230 feet from the edge of the road. We see it more as a safety, wayfinding type thing. If someone's going down the road 35 miles an hour, they can see maybe the fuel pricing sign, but if they glance up, it gives them a better idea where the store is, so they can make safer decisions as they approach the intersection to slow down, make a turn. Kind of see it as more of a safety issue, so they can see where they're at and know where they're going to get to. That's why we're requesting a larger sign in there.
The signs, that we're referring to, page 25. Is Lisa's presentation, is that the overall, is that with or without those?
So,
I hadn't talked to them, I just talked to store design today, so they don't even have those included in their couch, but,
yeah, our 235 does not
yeah,
include those.
so.
Okay. They were treated as more operational type signage. Those things on menu boards or wayfinding signage, we don't include in our branding stuff.
Okay,
Yes,
so for
yeah.
tonight, we don't need to
Yeah.
worry.
So, yes, so
So those are included.
we don't, yeah. so we
Okay,
don't-
that's why I wanted clarification.
Those are included.
So, so those are kind of part of the structure and, yes.
And you-
There was nonsense, so I just figured it, so when I was looking at the total, so.
Okay.
All right,
Only that sign.
There's,
and then I guess if we're not counting it, it'd still be the total, we'd still be over on the total, if we're not counting the 30.
So we're still over.
we're
what,
still over on
35,
our wall signs and our.
And then 9 on one, 35 on the other.
You got it.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. What do you have? Question? I know, and I feel like we have to have some number as that benchmark, right?
Yeah.
And that's why then anything over, we come in,
Yeah.
see if it makes sense. Yeah.
Right.
I really don't have. So it's barely over, they've done a nice job
Very close.
of presenting.
When I worked for the town, was really when we were really getting strict on sign. And that's when a lot of the full sign that used to be on 67 still existed. They're essentially all gone now, which I think is a big improvement. However, I also have to spend a lot of time on the road now, going back and forth to school. And you get into communities where they're clearly very strict on signage and wayfinding, it gets very difficult. Like I found myself in places up in Wisconsin where I wanted to get to a gas station that Google Maps says is there, and it's just hard to find because there's not enough good wayfinding signage, so I think you're right, you have to have a benchmark, you've got to work off that benchmark, but to me, this all seems very appropriate.
If you might, there was one thing I forgot to mention, I'm sorry. I forgot to mention, this store is actually gonna have two entry points for the public, one in the front, one in the back. We have a sign in the back, it's about 40 square feet as well. Normally, most businesses wouldn't have, so when you add that 40 feet in, that puts us way over, but we have two public entrances into the store. There's a reason for that. People come to get fuel, they'll come to the front, if you're coming to get coffee, no fuel. They tend to park in the back and use the rear entrance, so we do have an extra, wall sign because of that, we've got two public entrances. Forgot to mention that, that's about 40 square feet as well. So that kind of pushes it over the top.
Yeah, it's a unique parcel.
So we as staff, we definitely agree that it is a unique piece of property. We do believe that the proposed variances do not create any type of risk on public health and safety or general welfare. And the proposed signage is substantially consistent with those in scale and design with the surrounding area. We've got CVS there just right to the north, but we also have other various restaurants and retail stores that do have those larger signs from historical approvals. The proposed exceeding those standards is very minimal at the 9 square feet for the wall sign and then the 35 for the cumulative. We also feel that the minimum relief is being requested, also in consideration of that this is a kind of a set standard for their company and their branding and sign design. And we feel that the proposed signage is associated with the operation of the development. It does not independently generate any additional traffic. It doesn't alter that site access. It doesn't increase any type of intensity on that land and that property for the commercial land use that's intended. Also, the signage will remain subject to and compliant with all other requirements of the UDO, including those standards such as the setbacks that are required, the height, the illumination, those site visibility concerns. Those have all been met, and that we do not anticipate that the petition will adversely affect public infrastructure, utilities, any traffic circulation, or access to that property. Those gateway corridor overlay districts, those standards are also met. A lot of those are in regards to the illumination, and there is no concern there. And all other building, fire codes and safety standards also are met with this petition. And this petition is just limited to the size. It's not with any other element or features regarding your signage. So we would, as staff, we would recommend your consideration for this variance request.
And you still have to open this to the public.
Yes.
Yes, and James, I forgot to ask you on staff discussion. I apologize. Do you have any comments?
I don't, I'm following.
Okay, thank you. So I will then, in staff, do you have? Sorry, council. So I will then open this up for the public meeting. Do we have anyone who would like to speak? Do we have anyone online?
No, just James.
Okay, I will close the public meeting at 7:20. Sorry. Public hearing. And too many kinds of meetings, I apologize. So then the staff, we will, any further discussion? Any, conditions?
Yeah, I think we're close enough for what Ron mentioned, if you benchmark on that, we're pretty close to that.
I agree. Great.
I don't have a problem.
So I will, open it up for a motion to approve B 08182026-01. If I could get someone to make a motion for that with no conditions.
So moved.
We have one,
I'll second that motion.
we have a second, so we will do a roll call from my left.
Aye.
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 James,
And James votes aye.
so approved. Motion approved, so we will move on.
Thank you guys so much. We're really excited to be
Thank
here.
you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Tom.
Okay,
Well, you would.
okay, thank you.
You can see some, everyone keep asking.
Yeah, so we come to our second petition. It's pertaining to the property at 504 South Pendleton Avenue. This petition was filed by the property owner, Alex Layla. He is here with us tonight, so he too also can answer any questions that you may have. As staff, we did not receive any letter of opposition regarding this petition. Matter of fact, and it is also in your records there that we did receive a letter of support from a resident within our community. This particular property here is kind of south of the downtown area, and it is zoned residential for conservancy, the RC district. This property is just about 0.2 acres, and it is used for a single-family residence, and this is his primary residence. And this home is also located outside of our local historic preservation district. And this property is also served by water, electric, gas, and sanitary sewer. And it's here highlighted in yellow, sorry. The next slide here, the petitioner is requesting a variance in developmental standards to be able to be allowed to do the following. One request here, and he is simply asking to be allowed to have vinyl siding as the exterior finished material in the RC zoning district. This particular home, you'll see an image here on the screen. It is currently sided with vinyl siding. He is in need of getting that replaced, and he would like to replace it with vinyl siding. However, the vinyl siding would be replaced with product that is complementary and consistent with our Unified Development Ordinance standard. The stock here is listed here. This is specifically out of our UDO, but this is allowed in all other residential residential zoning districts. The residential core conservancy, about a year and a half ago, we updated our UDO to prohibit this exterior material in this zoning district, but yet to be allowed for our Board of Zoning Appeals to then consider if there is times that it's appropriate to allow vinyl in individual property. This thickness here is also met with the stock. He has a qualified contractor lined up also to install this vinyl siding. We have our analysis here. He is simply asking for it to be a replacement with our standards that we do have in place. If they are replacing more than 25%, they do have to come in compliance with the UDO. So he had approached our planning department and has come in and expressed the need to be able to seek this variance. And I could either pause or I can go right into our presentation, but I also know that Alex is here as well. And
So can we talk about the RC district? And I know I was part of the last approval on that, but, and you have to, you're not gonna catch every scenario.
yes.
But I don't necessarily know if our intent was prohibit somebody from improving their home with the same material.
Yes.
I think that's more for the historic piece,
Yeah.
right?
And we discussed that, and we discussed that as staff. And It was, the primary intention of that was then to preserve those homes that were considered contributing to the local historic, district. We also have our National Register of Historic Places, in which this particular home does fall within that larger National Register of Historic, Places district. But it is outside of our local historic preservation district. It's south of that border. The intent was also to uphold the integrity, to encourage that, to be upheld within those homes that are historic. That might be something that Planning Commission might want to reconsider, if we do find, because we do have several homes in our downtown area, our residential core conservancy area, that are, are cited with vinyl product.
Yeah, and that's where, when it's already that way.
Yes.
So the qualifications, whether it was qualified for the historic district in the current shape, or maybe somewhere along the line it had been metal siding or whatever siding throughout history. But from this point on, replacing same with same when it changed.
Yeah.
And I know what we were doing, we were trying to preserve, and I'm very much about that, but that's why we wanted healthy discussions when these situations arise, to know if our ordinances really fit, or if we need to carve out some more. Not to belabor the presentations, but I have no problem with fresh vinyl replacing already vinyl that's hung, that's probably thinner, cracking, dirty, or whatever.
I
And
would
the stuff
agree that you're
today is nicer.
half vinyl, replacing new vinyl.
What's really changed,
It's proper.
yeah, it's not making anything negative, it's really.
So we had improvement to the, yes.
So I just think these situations, when they come up, we want to kind of think about those in case we do need to make amendments, yes.
May I add something?
Oh, sure, sir.
The house was built 1995.
1995?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, and so it is definitely not a contributing home to that historic, but yes. Yes.
And maybe information like that, we might think about, there's caveats that we can carve out in that language. And then so people don't have to take extra months when they will really want to jump in and get a project
Absolutely.
done.
Yeah,
It's just belabor, but we,
yes. 100% agree. Yeah, Alex has been very patient and understanding, working through the process. It's just that he's been great to work with, but he is ready to get going on getting.
we appreciate that. We have to have some kind of standards to uphold the integrity, but then situations like this, we have to work through. But I do think that's something we need to think about.
Yeah.
Same type replacement. And I think of if 2019 happened again, a tornado came through, everyone can't afford hardy pack.
Absolutely, yes.
Great
Really
minds think
great,
fast.
yes.
But if they're just trying to improve and replace the same, if not, then what's gonna happen?
Yeah.
They're gonna leave the old up or have hanging down.
Yeah,
And that's it. We don't want that either. So,
yes.
okay.
Connor and I have discussed that, but that is on our list for Unio.
That was actually like replacing same with something we specifically talked
Yeah.
about.
And, I don't know if we need to look at the year of the home. Or, because it's not a contributing factor, clearly. Yeah, I just don't want unnecessary due process, if you will.
Yeah.
But filing fee, whatever that is now.
Yeah.
All that others.
Yes. Like I said, this was something that we could have approved administratively. We would have felt confident that this was one that was pretty streamlined, but yet we knew that we needed to put this in front of the board and follow the process. But yes, it's definitely something that we would like to, and that is on our list to present to planning commission for consideration.
James, do you have any thoughts?
No, I think, if you can see the picture of the house as it looks now, I mean, that's the option, right? Is to leave it the way it is. It's a big improvement to put vinyl on it, and vinyl siding's come a long way. It's a lot higher quality than it used to be, and, I think we've got precedent even recently where we approved vinyl siding for a barn, or excuse me, a garage, right on the historic street. So, I'm for it.
Thank you, James. But then I will let this. Should I open up public?
Yes, we still need to do that.
Okay.
Yes, yep.
Well, I will open up the public hearing at 7:31. Do we have anyone online or anyone here that would like to speak?
What's the definition of a core conservancy? What does that mean?
I'll let Denise
Yes.
answer.
So it is the residential area that kind of surrounds then the historic downtown area within a community. So it's kind of conserving and preserving then that historic character of the downtown.
I thought that means they will get a tax abatement.
Okay.
We don't have those discussions today.
In conservancy,
Yeah.
tax abatement.
He's strategizing still.
Yeah.
Okay,
In
so
conservancy, tax abatement.
I will close the public record at 7:32. And I will turn it back to Denise.
I could go through these items, or if you want, I mean, we could put it on record, however. But as staff, I mean, the area around, is about 80% of vinyl siding as well. This is not a home that is contributing to that National Register of Historic Places, but with him having just a request to be able to do a more feasible product, to be able to replace what is already existing. This is a minimal request that is not going to create any public risk or risk to public health and safety. And, we definitely do feel that this request is reasonable, is minimal, and we feel that, we feel good that this is something that this board should consider favorable.
Have any other staff comments?
Only mentioned is there's will be an improvement for that, replacing vinyl with vinyl.
And the same with rain,
Yeah.
but with that added. So I will, open it up for staff, the staff, motion to approve B 08182026-02.
I'll second that.
Got a second, so we'll do roll call for my left.
Aye.
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 Jane,
James votes aye as well.
so approved. Thank you. Thank you for going through this process too with them.
I appreciate it.
I will turn it over to Denise. That is.
That's all that we have.
Okay. Well, I will close the meeting.